howdy, hey, everybody.
Aloha.
Hey. Aloha.
Hello.
Happy Saturday evening. We are live. Now that's Disney's Disney Night Live. Man, what's going on, everyone? Look at us.
So good to see you all.
I know. It's so good to see you and you. I feel like it's the Brady Bunch with all the different squares of people. This is great.
Wait, there are 6 of us. So who is who?
Okay. Let them introduce themselves. I think you know most of us, but you have some.
No, I was thinking who's Marsha, who's Greg, who's Cindy, and I can't remember the other 3.
I'm gonna be Cindy.
Marsha.
Chris, what's up, my man?
I love to throw out the line, sure, Jan, at people.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
I don't think you've ever officially met Becki and Mike. Jay, Skipper Jay.
Yeah, first time meeting you guys. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We meet on live air.
Yeah. You guys sound
no pressure.
Can hear you.
For me to make a bad impression.
Oh, you won't. Yeah. You never do. So for people that don't know, Becki is part of our admin team, and we do have an admin chat that we chat all day, every day, pretty much. At least
some days.
We chat.
A lot, a couple times a week. So Jay and Becki know each other through our little chat, but they never actually met in person.
Right.
To meet Jay is like, it's just priceless.
Euphoria?
It's like meeting royalty.
I love him.
There's a whole bunch of curtsies and things you have to do, but it's
just
don't look me in the eyes and we're good.
Just did some curtsies, some hugs, some handshakes.
He's just all good. He's all fun. He's a typical California guy.
Yeah,
Jay's
awesome.
We
What's
got a lot
up,
of spares.
Everybody
I was
watching,
hoping I was
listen.
Gonna see you. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, we were hoping Skipper Jay would be there.
Yeah, guys, I'm so sorry. Timing just did not work out. We are looking right now. We're going to be out of here in 10 weeks. So
that's awesome.
The move is here. It feels like a pregnancy. I've been waiting for it forever. Then all of a sudden, the water's broken and it's time to go.
That's like me after eating White Castle.
Oh my gosh!
I won't go there. I won't go there. I went there once, and I know what a heart attack feels like.
I'm gonna apologize now.
Oh, come on, Jay. When you move down here, you say you're not going to get a suitcase from the biggest White Castle in the world.
Okay. Don't. What I'm so excited about, there is this chain of Mexican restaurants in California, fast food Mexican restaurants called Del Taco. And I love Del Taco. I would kill right now for a combo number 5, medium with the cherry Coke. And I haven't had it since I left California. But it is in Florida. Right. First meal over state line. The first Del Taco I find. I am going to dig out and gain back the weight I've lost.
I think I had Del Taco. Jay, I told you that my stepbrother was from La Jolla, and I used to live in Arizona when I went to ASU, and then I would take a bus to La Jolla that took like 10 hours. I would go to the windmills. I don't know where I was. I was out in the middle of nowhere in California. It wouldn't just take me from Arizona like straight across to La Jolla.
Palm Springs area.
Yeah, it went up and down, but whatever. It was cheap, and I think I went to Del Taco there, and it was good.
Nice.
Is it not a slice of heaven on your tongue?
Maybe a little.
It was a long time ago,
so. Let me just say hello again to everybody tuning in. Hi, welcome. We are Now That's Disney's Disney Night Live. If you couldn't tell from the banners scrolling across your screen, we're live. Please share us out. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're coming live to you on my LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. We're everywhere. I'm going to get rid of these banners now, and I want to let everybody know there's a new episode of Now That's Disney's Disney Night Live up as a podcast that Jay was so kind to have taken care of for us and put some background music to, and I uploaded it earlier today, so it's out available on all podcast platforms for your ear enjoyment. That is our...
There was a word I was going to say, but it's a family-friendly show, and I don't know if I
We'll try. Go ahead, Becki. What was that?
I noticed I was going on today onto YouTube. Weren't the videos like these videos that we had, like our lives before on YouTube, and not what they're not now? Is that how it is? Because when I clicked on some of them, they're just your background with our voices.
Oh, okay. So you know what happens? when I upload the podcast, YouTube is one of the destinations. I actually need to remove it. But what happens is if you go into the live tab under our channel, you'll see all of the past lives or the videos. But what happens when I upload the podcast is just us talking. So you have to look for the actual episode. I should probably remove YouTube as one of the podcast destinations since the video is there.
Keep it on there. Keep it on. People put the podcast on YouTube.
Right. I don't want to.
We need to let people know there's the audio and then there's the video version. However you want to consume us, there we are.
Consume us. Right. I mean, how could you not get enough of all of this? Come on.
Hey, Lewis. Lewis Ramos was watching.
Hey.
We were fortunate. Lewis lives in the same town as us.
What's up, Lewis?
We were in Disney looking for the hidden Millennium Falcon in the Millennium Falcon. I don't know if we didn't talk about that last week, but I don't know if anybody knows this. Becki and Mike were with us.
Yeah.
And David was talking about this tiny little Millennium Falcon underneath the big Millennium Falcon in Galaxy's Edge. And we're all like hovering and looking down, looking up, down and up for it. And then we're talking to some guy about it. And then me and David are both like,
oh, he's taking pictures. I'm like, man, he looks familiar. And it's Lewis. And I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, I knew why he looked familiar.
That was funny. We saw a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't think I uploaded a picture because they didn't come out that well. Guys, it's tiny.
Becki got a good one.
I got some pictures.
Is it in your photos? That's okay. That's okay.
It's not in the one I gave you, no, but I do have them on my phone.
Next week.
So, yeah, it's underneath the Millennium Falcon outside of Smuggler's Run, and it's a hidden Millennium Falcon, and it's very cool if you could find it, but it's hard to find. So, you know what else I wanted to talk about tonight was our sponsor, D Magic World. I also sent them our latest episode for them to put up there because, on D Magic World, it's not only 24/7 streaming Disney music magic, but it's also on Sundays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. live episodes of Now That's Disney's Disney Night Live. You can catch us there, but you can also catch D Magic World and all the live park music and movie music that they have to offer, dmagicworld.com. So again, great place to go and listen to Disney all the time, 24/7, no matter what you're doing. If you're in the car, you're on a plane, you are traveling to Disney World, you are at work, check them out. Nonstop Disney Magic. Make sure you click on that Now That's Disney tab up top here on this screen. It takes you right to our Facebook page or Facebook group. And please check them out. Let them know, you heard of them through us. Request something really cool from Disney, and Jasper will be sure to get that music up for you.
And Becki and Mike, you guys, on Sundays, I think at David, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, they play our show.
Yeah.
So you guys, if you tune in tomorrow, I think it might be last week's. I think they're like a week.
Yeah, it depends on when Jasper has a chance to upload them.
But I'll tell you if I hear it. But a lot of times, like around 12, we'll put on D Magic World on Sunday, and it's funny because it's us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what we sound like.
Yeah. Yeah. Jasper does a really good job at D Magic World, but just like the rest of us here in this on the show, Jasper works. So it's really hard for him to get our newest episodes up every week. So he loads them in. And so, but check them out. Even sometimes we tune in and it's an older show and it's still, you listen to it and you're like, oh my God, we talked about that.
Yeah. David, I'm so vain that I hate missing an episode because then I'm depriving the audience of myself. And that's a crime.
Yeah. You don't want to do that. Nobody should be deprived of Skipper J.
No. Yeah. Crazy.
We want to get into our trip report discussion that we started last week with Becki, Mike, and Don, and Jay is back in the square here to hang out with us and talk about it. And I figure maybe we can let Don. Do you want to? We can run through some of your photos. I can pull them up, and you can just talk about some of the highlights from the trip as well, and go from there.
Sure, go ahead.
Let me grab.
Oh, thank you, Jody.
Yeah.
So we started our vacation a couple days later than Dave. We showed up on Monday the 10th. We got into the Poly a little bit after 11 or between 11 and 12. So that, of course, our room wasn't ready. Well, all right. So that is, we had dinner reservations at the Diamond Horseshoe.
That was on day one, right?
That was on day one.
Yeah.
So we ended up, we walked around the resort a little bit. We were out by the lava pool. We didn't have our backpack with us. We didn't have anything. And we saw the boat coming to the dock, and we were like, hey, let's just go to Magic Kingdom.
Oh, hey guys, I'm sorry. Can you go back a slide?
Yeah, hold on one sec. I'll go
so sorry. So Dawn, you said you had lunch at the Diamond Horseshoe. I do believe you mean. I do believe you mean Tiana's whatever's to be called restaurant.
Well, that's why. Yeah, this picture here is fitting, right? So
I'm just calling that now.
We're just saying that it eventually will be Tiana's Horseshoe.
I would hope that they. See, I would rather them change the Tortuga Tavern, leave Pecos Bills alone, and just change Tortuga Tavern into a beignet station.
Yeah.
Can I say something really quick? How come they have the Diamond Horseshoe and then what's the restaurant next?
Liberty Tree.
Okay,
Liberty Tree.
So of all of Magic Kingdom, both of those you have like a sit down like turkey dinner. No offense, but like
it's the same kitchen.
Prior to COVID, they had two different menus.
Right. But
you had your turkey dinner at the Liberty Tree Tavern.
Right.
Then when they reduced seating, and everyone had to be like 1.2 miles away from each other in the restaurant.
Right.
They used the Diamond Horseshoe as an overflow for Liberty Tree Tavern.
Yes.
So they could. So then they only had one menu, and of course, when Bobby Chapek was in charge, he decided not to bring the menu back. That regime decided not to bring Diamond Horseshoe's menu back.
I noticed that when we were looking for a quick place to like try to find a reservation, and I'm like, both of these places have like a turkey dinner, which is great if you want a turkey dinner, but in the middle of the day when it's hot, can I just get a burger?
Or a famous Skipper canteen. Or a famous Skipper canteen.
That's what you want is hot beef in your body when it's hot out. So here's Donnie and Marie in front of Maui over at the Polynesian. That's a great photo of the two of you.
And that was when we checked in right before we went over to the Magic Kingdom. We had this great program where we were talked about what's in your bag. Well, because we were doing the walk around and did a spur of the moment jump on the boat, go to Magic Kingdom, we left our bag in my truck in the Suburban, and we got caught in downpours without umbrellas, rain ponchos, or anything. So that picture is the Animal Kingdom day, which was day 4.
I love that shirt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now, isn't it great?
We didn't have any Fast Pass, Genie Plus, Lightning Lane. We didn't have anything. So for us to do rides, we had the rope drop, and we didn't hit rope drop, but we went Kilimanjaro Safari. When we got out of Kilimanjaro Safari, we waited 10 minutes and then we went to Lion King. When we got out of Lion King, we noticed, I think what happened was basically what happened was I think the ride had gone down, and we caught it just as they were bringing it back up because it had a 60-minute wait. Now, we walked up. If you've been on this ride, we walked all the way to the lab without stopping.
Nice.
Wow.
The flight of passage.
That's
and then you're only a few minutes away from riding at that point.
Yep. Someone had given me. I have a tendency to get nauseous on motion rides. On simulated motion rides. Someone told me watch the Banshee in front of you. So that's what I did this time around, and followed that Banshee, and it was the best experience I've ever had.
Was it your
other
first
than drinking
on Flight of Passage?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Was it your first time on Flight of Passage?
Oh no, it was like the third time I've done Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And have you been sick before from it, or you got motion sickness?
Yeah, I at one point I did. I think the first time I had to take my eyes off the screen and focus. I had to focus on the bike that I was sitting on.
Okay.
And then I was able to recenter myself and look up at the screen.
Right.
It had nothing to do with the Lapu Lapus you guys were drinking, though.
Oh no, that's just iced tea in a pineapple.
Oh, yeah, sure it is. Here is Marie sitting at
50s prime time.
The 50s prime time, and so
With
Don
her
was saying
elbows
they
on
didn't
the
have.
table.
Well, I know. Well, you're not. You get yelled at there, but you were saying you didn't have any Genie Plus or Lightning Lane, but you had Marie, and you don't need Fast Passes or Lightning Lane when you have a Marie because Marie is the Energizer Bunny. She'll get you up at the crack of dawn, and you are at the park and ready to go before anybody else.
Yes, if you go on vacation with Marie and you go down with a cold, you're going to come back with pneumonia. There's no stopping her, and if you hold her, if you hold on to her, you're in the wind like a rag on a clothesline.
I love it.
So
Don, I'm looking at your background.
I love Lapu photos. Yeah,
I just want to be there right now. Right, I just want to jump in the picture.
Jay, it's so great. It really is. So, we spent the one day with Becki and Mike. Don and Marie were there in the morning, and they came back later on. But man, it's such a fun time hanging out at the Oasis.
Actually, that was the day we hit the hot tub.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
So you have, and that is in that's of course in Hollywood Studios.
Right.
Yeah.
Is this right above the restaurant?
That is right above Hollywood and Vine.
Hollywood and Vine, right? Okay, yeah, I recognize the sign.
It's a throwback to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And of course, Eddie Valiant was the private investigator, and well, I guess Roger had to leave in a hurry.
Isn't that the guy that sang that song, Heave and Flow? Is that Eddie? Different Eddie? Oh, all right, different Eddie. I got you. And who's this cute love birds right here? Look at these two. I love it. Right in front of the Tree of Life. I know that shirt is amazing. So cute.
You got to take your hat off to the photo pass people.
Right.
They will make you look good even if you don't want to.
What's crazy is you're trying. Marie's holding on to you. She's like, "We got to get to the next ride," and you're trying to let go. You're like, "No, I need a break," and she's like, "Let's go." That's what was happening here.
Marie, that's Marie's superpower.
Yeah, no, she is. I love it.
Now, this was the view out of our room.
And you had a standard view, right?
I had booked a standard view, and I figured I was going to have a beautiful view of the parking lot.
I tell you what, this is not a bad view, right, of the Oasis Bowl. It's a pretty darn good view for a standard view.
And we were on the second floor, on the pool side. Literally, we were 50 steps from the swimming pool. Go down the stairs, and there you were.
You were in Tokyo, right? Yeah. So
they were in Tokyo,
yeah. Yep. So we went to when we were in Animal Kingdom, we are Landry Club members, and we did a walk up to Yak and Yeti. And because we're Landry Club members, they have to give us the next available seats. And this was a strawberry shortcake dessert they had on special. It was, we split it between the two of us, and it was delicious. And you got to keep the cup.
Don, did I have too much bourbon, or is the bottom of the cup aglow?
Red and
glowing? It glows.
Okay.
Wow.
And you never can have too much bourbon.
No, you really can't.
You can, but that's called alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. It all comes up, and then you got room for more.
Yeah.
Oh, man, look at this Mickey. Well, you got to call it the right thing. When Colton orders one of these, he says to the cast member, I would like a premium Mickey ice cream bar, please. Premium.
It is,
and that's really what they're called, right? But you don't want to cut it short or sell it short, should I say.
Yeah. And I was actually able to eat that one without most of it hitting the pavement.
All right, so I have a tip here.
You got to be fast.
Get a plastic lid for one of the soda cups and slide it underneath the popsicle stick. And any of the chocolate that falls off gets caught in the soda lid that's upside down. You won't lose any of your chocolate.
That usually just slows it down on its trip to the ground.
No, it'll catch that.
It works. It's amazing. No drip.
At that price, ice cream headache. I'm just going to devour it like Stitch, but I'm going to make a mess. My brain is going to freeze.
And there's Maria on Team Ice Cream Sandwich.
Yeah, her and John, Big Fat Panda,
yeah,
on the ice cream sandwich, and I don't understand these kinds of people. I don't get it.
Colton was so disappointed.
I'm an ice cream sandwich person too.
No, oh God.
Colton was so disappointed in Panda.
I ate a handful
together, and he told him that he
did you
preferred that.
I don't.
But I mostly ate
know.
Mickey bars.
Mickey bars.
The whole trip, I said, I want a Mickey pretzel. So the first day, I was like, okay, it's pouring rain, and I wanted a Mickey pretzel. It's like, but it's pouring rain. Let's leave. We ended up cutting Monday short because we were so soaked. But we made up for it. What, Wednesday night did we make up for it when we stayed there?
Well, with the extended hours. Right?
Yeah. We stayed there to 1 or 2, midnight or 1. I can't remember.
How many would you say during our trip? How many? Becki, Mike, Don, Kim? I don't think Kim had that many. Colton and I had a decent amount of premium Mickey bars. Like, how many do you think you had during the whole trip?
Oh, that's easy.
Had none.
I had
one.
Any.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
I didn't either,
I'm not
Becki. I didn't have any either.
Between 10 and 15.
I have to be careful with ice cream. It's a hit or miss with me.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, no, I
bad stomach, so it's not worth it for me to be on a ride or something.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But...
Yeah, it depends on the weather. If it's hot, the last thing I want is dairy.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Milk
tell
was
me
a
where
bad
this
choice.
is.
All right, I know the answer. I won't say it. Does anyone know?
Who can tell me where this is? And Marie, you're not allowed to answer.
Is it Navi River?
Close.
A crime scene?
That is that is Flight of Passage.
I thought I've seen that.
Now, as you leave Flight of Passage, you will see these 3 handprints on the cement wall. And it's Joe Rohde. You can see the JR.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the producer of the movie.
Okay, so James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
And I'm having a senior moment.
On the third person, he is it another Imagineer?
I can't remember. I'm having a senior moment.
Yeah, so that's a good trivia question.
But there are 3 people that were instrumental in doing the ride and the and the movie.
Yep. Here's Divine over in Animal Kingdom. You actually ran into her, which is a treat if you can see Divine in person. Yeah, it really is.
We were walking by and I stopped. I said, "Wait a minute, what was that moving?" There wasn't a crowd yet, and you had to really oh, Divine's out.
Yeah.
And then once she gets a crowd around her, you can find her.
But you could walk right by her and not even know she's there. It's insane.
I've never seen her before.
Yeah.
Really?
If you guys cool. do, it'll blow your mind. It's amazing.
It's so beautiful.
She's only about 10 foot tall.
Yeah, but if she's sometimes she stands next to a lot of times you'll catch her if you're walking into Animal Kingdom where it splits to the right and the left around where the animals are in the circle. And
she'll be on the right-hand side.
She'll be on the right-hand side, but she blends right in with the trees strategically, and it's just crazy to see her and interact with her.
I'm dying to know who else is a big comic nerd, and every time they see her go, "Ooh, it's Poison Ivy."
Yeah, that's right away.
I think a creature of the Black Lagoon. That was just a joke. House of Blues. You guys ate at House of Blues on your Disney Springs Day.
Yes, we did. On Tuesday, we met up the day you guys were at the pool. We went down to Disney Springs and had a lunch with a friend of ours, and we went to House of the Blues, and it was well worth going. We're gonna put I just got done editing the food review
for Donnie and Marie on the Go.
Yep, it's gonna be on Donnie and Marie on the Go. I will post it in the Disney, the Now That's Disney group, so everyone can take a look at it.
Cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Donnie Marie on the Go on YouTube. We got a little Tower of Terror.
I know where this is
here, and now that we wrote it for the first time as a family, I know where this is. I'm pretty excited.
But you know what that is.
So am I looking at the item right in the middle? I think Jay knows. That is the award for the best scary face. First place, you can see the number 1 on it, and that's what that is.
Run.
No, I'm totally making it up. Jay, tell me.
Okay, so there's an episode of William Shatner where there is a fortune-telling machine at a restaurant. Puts a penny in, gives him a card, and the thing drives him mad.
And, yes,
I remember that.
That's right. And
because he was in the Twilight Zone not once but twice.
Yeah, we watched the sci-fi Twilight Zone marathon every New Year's Eve, so I do remember this episode. Very cool.
Now, this is a prime example. Don't only look straight ahead. Look up when you're in Disney, because you never know what you. The Roger Rabbit window and the Eddie Valent window. If you don't look up, you don't see.
You got it. You got to look up. You got to look down. You're right, Don, because a good example of that is the ground in Magic Kingdom, around Magic Carpets of Aladdin. There's gems and earrings and stuff all imprinted into the ground and actually cemented into the ground. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, I never
noticed that.
Wet
Dole Whip too, right, Kim?
What?
Yeah.
And apparently wet Dole Whip too, right?
She got a good look at the ground, Becki. She saw the gems right up close when she fell and took that spill. She was like, "Oh, gems!" See,
I noticed other
up close and personal.
I noticed things in
over by.
But like right around Fantasyland by the spinning camels, if you look down, there's actually like earrings embedded.
Yes.
In the ground,
and a ring,
diamonds, rings,
and
like, it's really cool.
And 2 palm prints.
Yes.
it is a booby trap for people, and they're not aware of it. They don't know what's coming. This is why
Kim got caught in the booby trap.
Oh, this is why Skipper Jay's third worst ride at all of Walt Disney World.
Yeah, Kim got caught.
And why it needs to go right now.
I saw my wife Scorpion.
I'm lucky I didn't turn into a shrunken head.
Yeah, you look like a shrunken.
So close to.
Camel will get you every time.
Yeah.
I can't think about it again. I'm sorry. All right, Don and Marie are here on Rise of the Resistance. The most overrated ride at Disney.
Oh, bite your tongue.
I know. Really.
Someone mute Dave.
Yeah.
On it. I got that.
We rope dropped Hollywood Studios on Wednesday, and we less than an hour wait to get on the ride.
That's great, actually, to get on Rise.
Yeah. Rise is always fun to me. I love it.
I like it also.
I will give them this. It's a journey. It's not a short experience. There's several ride vehicles. You go through several spots in the attraction, so it's well worth the time if you're going to wait for it.
It's literally 3 rides in one.
Right.
Yeah.
Interact with the cast members.
Yeah, I did, and it was a lot of fun. There was a woman there working, and she was downright funny but nasty, and I had a lot of fun with her.
I do too. I get back with them. I go.
It's fun.
It's great.
When we were in the interrogation room waiting to be interrogated, I had everyone in the room ready to turn Marie in. I'm like, okay, we're giving her up, and we're gonna give her up. She's the spy.
So I also want to talk about real quick Rise of the Resistance. When you get on the transport vehicle before you're captured and taken in for interrogation, you go into and come out of the same door. You go into the transport ship from the outside, but when the door opens on the same side, you come out facing all the stormtroopers.
Right.
And so that really does. Hey, Lacey, it really does move. So my thinking is it actually turns. You're rotating, right?
I think it's like a carousel.
Do you write it's a carousel? I can tell you.
Yeah. Are you spinning?
It's literally sitting on top of a giant record player. It's a turntable.
Right. That's what I thought. Right. Exactly. Okay.
You spin and come out the same door into a different room.
Right. That's what I thought. Okay. Cool. It's really neat because some people are like, okay, they don't even realize they go out the same door they came in and they're not outside anymore. This is
when you're in the shuttle. If you're in the back of the shuttle, look out the back window.
Yeah.
If you're in the front, watch the cockpit. You have the same thing happening in a panoramic view.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if you look out the front, you see a ship fly over your shuttle. Look out the back, you'll see it keep going.
Are you guys Are you ready for my favorite ride? Navi River. Do you guys want to hear me sing the song?
Dad, do we need to do the song?
I'm
just your backup, so don't
it's so embarrassing.
We're so
being the whole entire ride.
So when we were going on to Flight of Passage, it had 120-minute wait. Navi River.
Wow.
And I was like, you've got to be kidding. 2 hours.
Because it's one of the greatest rides at Disney World.
So then we go on Rite of Passage, and we're like, okay, what we're going to do next? Let's look at the wait time, and it dropped from 120 to 35. So we were like, okay, that's where we're going. And right after this ride, you guys were on the ride about 5 minutes after us.
Yeah.
Because we went to the drum circle and waited for you.
I absolutely love Navi River Journey. It is a short boat ride, but I love it. I can't complain. It's got great music. They sing about Halloween. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that.
You love it for the same reason Kim and we have a love for Small World.
I didn't
because
go
you guys
on
are psychotic.
World,
we did not.
I'm really
what?
Only crazy people that like to have nightmares about clowns poking them in the eyes while they sleep. Like it's a Small World.
So. Is there anyone old enough here to remember the Help Me, the clown that was hanging from the balloon with the sign that said "Help Me"?
No.
They used to have they used to have a clown hanging from a balloon. It was in the second to last. I think it was the second to last room, and he was holding a sign that said "Help Me." And the story was that he was stuck in there forever.
Yeah.
Someone finally helped him and took him out.
You only need to ride it.
I'd be happy to be stuck in there forever. I love Small World. It doesn't freak me out. I love it. It's just a little universe of everybody's happy and porno and I don't know what.
Kim's Italian all of a sudden. Mike, what did you say?
Bienvenidos. That's what I meant to say.
My favorite's right across the road from
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
It's a great ride.
I think some of the rides nowadays are just kind of, they're amazing, but they take away from like the old Disney feel. I don't know if some of you guys feel the same way.
Yes.
But they have to keep the old stuff around. It's like they're getting away from a lot of the old classic Disney rides and they're going to the
not everything can be updated rides. IP. Right.
Right, exactly.
I
still love the new stuff, but they can't get rid of all the old stuff.
And it's different, Mike. Like you're absolutely right. And the new stuff it's so different. And that kind of takes me into like wanting to talk to Jay so much about Tower of Terror because
funny
I've been thinking something along the lines, Mike, of what you're talking about. So
it's almost like from the 1920s to current. There's not much in between there. You have the old Disney and you have the current Disney, and there's not much in the way of transition.
But even if you look at some things that are not okay, so Small World is very early, right?
Okay.
But
I
like
assume so.
Guardians, Tron, Rise, anything in the last 5 years. So I'm just gonna say this. So Jay, when I went on Tower of Terror, I tried my hardest as we were getting on to like just take everything in and look around. And the queue.
Is too much?
No,
it's perfect.
You're right. Like the queue was so amazing. Right.
The boiler room is so cool.
But even from the minute that you're walking down the street and you're looking up at it,
and you turn that corner.
I know that other people have been on this for years, but it was new for me, and it was something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. But I was chicken, and but this time I was ready. I wasn't scared. I was
chicken.
I will say, Jay, that like that queue and all of the little trinkets and the way that they set that up, like inside here, is amazing. And that's old Disney that you don't see as often now, which brings me back to like Mike, like for instance, Swiss Family Treehouse, right? Had almost like somebody took a little dollhouse and set it up with every tiny little possible trinket, little telephone, setting it at all kinds of little details that I noticed, like with Tron, with Guardians, with Rise, with all the new rides, you don't see any of that detail anymore. Name one ride.
Guardians.
What?
Right.
Especially with Guardians. I didn't think Guardians
I was very disappointed.
had anything.
Tron was worse, Becki. I mean, Tron was worse. There was nothing in Tron. Tron was
If you're a fan of Tron, all right, so if you're a fan of the Tron movies, I think you'll enjoy it. I'm a fan of the Guardians movies, and my favorite part of the Guardians movies is the sarcastic banter and there was basically zero of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you took the funniest parts of the movies and removed it from the ride. Like, I don't need to have that whole show before I get on the ride. What I want is to have some of them around, like making jokes or, you know, have it be kind of funny.
You're there to see the Guardians, not Terry Crews.
Yeah. No,
the old
exactly.
rides have to me, the old rides are what Disney really is or was.
Yeah.
You know, it has the magic to it. The new rides seem too
shallow,
like amusement park-ish.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't ride Tron and I didn't ride Guardians.
I mean, Guardians,
how those are.
To me, Guardians itself, when you actually get on it, was mind-blowing. And it really is fun. I felt like I am a wuss. I am a total chicken. But as soon as it launched backwards and Blondie started playing, I was like, whoa! Like I immediately felt joy and fun. I did not feel it on Tron, but the queue itself, like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Disco Inferno.
You got Disco Inferno, yeah. Like, I mean, it really, it's a fun ride, but
there's a reason that Peter Pan always has a really long wait time at Magic Kingdom. And then a lot of people are like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, it's a really good ride. It really is. It's a fun ride.
Well, I have a question I want to throw out to all of you. Because we're talking about the classic attractions and the new stuff. What about keeping the new stuff as it is and adding new technology into it, updating it from there? Because I've been saying forever, put digital projection on everything.
Right.
Imagine what animatronics could do if it was a blank face and
it loses
everything. Right. Not everything needs that. Like, it fits into Frozen, but it doesn't fit into Peter Pan for me.
I agree with Mike. I want to see that all the time.
You want the classics to stay as they are.
Yeah.
I like
the new ones need a better backstory.
Yes.
Right.
When you go on Big Thunder Mountain, there's a backstory.
Yeah, there's no backstory on Guardians and Tron other than the movie. That's your backstory.
Yeah, the backstory is that
it's IP.
The world, Epcot is open the new world. In other words, another pavilion, and it just happens to be that planet.
Epcotians,
story. Sorry, Kim.
I'm sorry. It's okay. They're focusing, I feel like, on the ride, on New Age ride wowing you. And that's fine. They want to use technology that they have now. And, they're going for more thrill, and that's fine. But, like, when I was little, and still to this day, climbing up Swiss Family Treehouse is still, to me, more fascinating than a lot of them. Just looking at the little rooms and the little scenarios and the little stories behind that. I found that with Tower of Terror again, and it was really fun to go on it, even though it's not a new ride. But for me, for the first time, and all of us, even though Colton did not enjoy it, I loved it. And Jay, right?
Do you want to see our video?
Yes, and then I have another question for everybody to throw to the group.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can get this to load up in here.
I wanted to say to Jay really quick. So, Jay, you know what I did not anticipate, which was really silly, but what I didn't anticipate was that, and what I liked about it was that it was really, the theming was creepy. I was always worried about the drop, right? I was always asking you when you were telling me, Kim, it's just a pull. And you're right, because I can't go on those rides at like carnivals that just drop. But this was like a fun tickling. I mean, it was a little scary, but I love the horror.
Yeah, it's a thrill more than a scare. Like, I mean, it's like they scare you to thrill you.
Right before you go and you see the people in the hallway and it looks like they kind of got electrocuted. I'm a horror person. I'm sorry to everybody. Like, for me, Halloween should be Halloween Michael Myers, not Mickey. And I'm sorry to say that, but I like that. So, and like Haunted Mansion to me it's fun, but it's not scary. So this was like, I really
that's kitschy. Come on. Yeah, you can't compare it.
Well, and this is what I'm going to ask is because the new rides, They have to over detail these stories to the point of nauseum. Every little thing has been written out in the story form. Where the old rides, there was kind of a story, but it was vague enough that it was your story. And it was every story you wanted to tell in your head. Once you got on that ride, it was your experience. Right. Now, no matter what, it's an IP's experience. So it's not your experience. It's your basically being told this is what's popular.
Yeah, because Jay, I kept asking David, and I was going to ask you, because I've watched a lot of Twilight Zones, and I'm like, wait, was this a Twilight Zone where there was the Hollywood Tower of Terror? And David's like, no, Kim, it's just based on it. So, because I kept thinking, like, was this an episode that I never saw? And then,
from my knowledge, there's no elevator episode.
I finally realized,
no,
they just made a ride after it and called it the Twilight Tower of Terror. Let's watch our video real quick and watch the fact that the three of us are holding on to each other for dear life.
I love this video, by the way.
We're right.
It won't play.
It's like my register at work. It waits until we have people. Waits until we have company, and then it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me pull up our photo from there too, and then I will I'll bring it up on screen so you could see it. Tower of Terror.
You know, it's weird though that different people have different reactions to different things and rides. I mean, some people are motion sickness. Some people, for me, it's the fear of the unknown. Colton, who can go on anything and can go on Space Mountain 10 times in a row, and I think I'm going to die every time I'm on it, was literally petrified on this. And it wasn't so much. It's okay. He's fine. But he was like, when he wasn't getting onto it, Jay, it was that motion. And I think it was a sensory thing for him. But he's done higher, awful carnival rides that just drop straight down. Something about that where for me, it was easier for him. He was like, I don't like this. And then at one point,
I didn't like it.
David goes, Kim, he's having a panic attack. And I'm like, oh no, he's joking. And then David's like, Kim, he's not joking. And when
he actually was cursing out. He was like, darn you, Skipper J. Darn you, Skipper J. Because he was.
No, he
was telling him, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, he'll never be the same. And it's all your fault.
He is
my God, I've ruined your child. I'm so sorry.
But he was not doing it again. He was like, I'm done. He's like, never again.
We'll get him. Oh, sorry, Becki.
Yeah. 2 years ago, my brother bribed Rowen for a Kyber crystal. Is that what they're called? For his lightsaber, if he'd go on Tower of Terror with us. And he did it. And
his soul left his body.
Yeah. He literally, he still talks about that to this day. Like, I'll never do it again. I don't care what you ask me.
I could put $1,000 in front of him, and he knows it's just a ride, and he's never doing that.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting because they both have autism. So
take a look at Colton's face in this. Take a look at Colton's face in this photo.
He was horrified.
And you could see he was actually horrified. Where he's grabbing my hand, Kim's holding my arm. The girl in the robe, but the girl in the row behind us in the middle with the purple shirt has a serious issue. She needs to see a psychiatrist because she has a straight face. No, what's wrong with her?
She's probably been on scared.
It before. Yeah, no, that's that. No,
she's one of the ghosts.
She has no emotion, that girl. You can see the other people. They're all like taking photos or they're doing something. She's like, yeah, whatever. We're going to fall.
She's just dead inside. There's no fun for her anymore. Yeah, she's dead
inside. But look at the cult. Let's zoom in and Colton's face is like, it's all Kim's fault. See that?
Oh.
I know. Thank you.
Shook to the core. His whole body was shaking.
You're right. That girl had RBF.
Yeah, which is weird, right?
And
I want to talk to her. I want to know why she's having issues with my favored ride. I want to interview her. And be like, what's up?
I thought it was thrilling and fun. I loved all of it, Jay. I can't wait because now you're going to move down there.
Yeah.
then I'm going to be like, you got to meet me because now Colton won't go on it. And David was kind of like, eh. And I couldn't
I'll go on it.
Again.
No, I did. I enjoyed it. I was worried about Colton because
there's a little shop at the end, so we get an awesome ride, and then we get to shop.
There was a lot of good stuff in the shop too.
Did you see Talkie Tina?
I'll ride Tower of Terror all day long.
Any day, right, Mike?
All day.
Put Gideon's in the shop afterwards, and I'm there.
Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I just want to change the subject a little bit. Colton did invite me to go on Space Mountain with you and with you and Colton.
With Kim.
And that's when when did they change the size of the seats? Because
the day before you got on it, actually.
I guess it's been 7 or 8 years since I last went on Space Mountain. And I'm like, it seems awful short. My knees are up around my ears, and how am I ever getting out of this seat? And then they were like, "Can you pull the lap bar closer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then afterwards, I was like,
a kid, and I probably could have fit 5 of me in that cart.
Yeah,
and then
right.
We went back as adults, and I'm like, this is a little snug.
I was a little bit worried about Donald on Space Mountain because it was just me, Colton, and Donald, and I saw the height of Donald because I was behind them. It was Donald, Colton, and then me, and I'm only 5 foot, so I saw the height. Donald is a tall man, and I'm like, "Oi!" And then me and Colton, when we got off the ride, it's his favorite ride. So he's jumping off and all excited, and we're walking away. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Donald. And I turn around, he's still in Space Mountain. Like we had to pull him out. And
I was trying to get unfolded.
She had to pull me out too.
Those seats are mean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you.
They're not for adults.
This is crazy to get into. This ride is crazy to get into.
All right. So I have a little bit of video. And I'm not going to load Kim and Colton's photo on Tron because Kim said I can't put the actual picture up. I rode with this guy, and him and I were both like pretty excited. So he was just as blown away from the ride as I was. I know I bashed Tron before I ever rode it, and we did some episodes talking about how long it took to build it and how short the ride is. But I got to be honest, eventually down the line, when the line isn't that long, and it doesn't take that long to get on this, and they're out of the virtual queue process, well worth it. I really enjoyed Tron, and it has nothing to do with the movie. All right, so Kim has her opinion, and it's wrong, but this is me on the ride with a stranger, which we enjoyed, and I also have some video that let me...
So what you do, let me ask everyone, because I haven't had a chance to do it yet. Is this ride, is Tron, is it an E ticket, a D ticket, or a C ticket? Because it's fun. I can't wait to E, D, or C ticket. Because I can't wait to ride it, but it's so short that it feels like filler in a way. So what'd you say, Dave?
It depends on how long you're going to wait for it. And then once they're at the virtual queue, and if you could snag a Genie Plus, a Lightning Lane, or a Genie Plus, or if you're utilizing the DAS once they get to that, I would say yes. It's a lot of fun. I'll show you. Well, I really think this photo pass option is cool for Tron. I'll show you this. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this before, so give me a second to pull it up.
Becki, did you guys do Tron?
No, we didn't get a chance to.
It was down.
No, that's test track.
Kim, you gave it a thumbs down.
I would warn you that if you ever take Rowen on it and he has sound sensitivity, be careful with it because Colton, he knows to hold on, but on his picture he's like this,
right?
Because it was so loud, he could not handle it, and he was doing this to muffle the noise, which I did not like that he had to do. Thank God he didn't take his hands off of it. So
Rowen doesn't do anything like thrill rides. Like he wouldn't get on this. He wouldn't go into Guardians of the Galaxy with me.
Okay.
It's weird because when he was younger, we would go to the local carnival in town, and he would ride.
Or Dorney Park, because that's right by our house.
He would ride the jankiest ride, but it would just about spin the guts right out of you.
And he had no problem with it.
No, he would be the first person in line. He'd fly right up, and then something changed in him, and he just doesn't want to ride him. Which is good because I don't ride him either.
Right.
I'm solo by myself.
I used to ride him all the time, but my past.
You could ride with us next time, Becki.
Me not to.
Awesome.
Right.
I look forward to that.
Mike, the same thing kind of with Colton. Like the ride, there's certain rides that he loves. Like he just done almost everything, but when he saw Tron walking up, and this is the first time that he ever saw it up close like that, and you can see how high it is, and at one point it's like sideways, and it's high, and he was like, I'm gonna fall out, Mom, I'm gonna fall out. And it was an hour long of him repeating that. I'm like, you're not, it's gonna hold you down.
That's right.
Disney, trust it, it's okay. And he didn't love Tron, I'll be honest. He loved Guardians.
Valerie, yes, it is. So I just want to say that this woman and her two daughters in the back, the woman that I rode with up front has a worse mouth than me. She was very angry to be on this ride, and she cursed a lot, and she was hilarious. And then when we got off the ride, she was on a bench on her cell phone cursing at somebody else just because she was on the ride. She was hilarious, and she made the ride for me. Guardians of the Galaxy. Here is Colton and Kim. Kim's got to shave her head next time before she goes on this. Colton smiling like a pig, and you know what I mean. Happy as heck right here with Kim.
So fun. It's so fun.
Okay.
Can I tell you one thing that I did not realize?
Yeah. Please tell me.
So in all years prior, when we had our Magic Band, at the end of the ride, you used to go up and find your pictures, and you'd scan your Magic Band, and your pictures would all load onto your memory maker. And they did away with a lot of that. And so a lot of these rides, I didn't realize that you had to scan a QR code or anything. I had got none of my pictures from my rides.
Did you go back in and check, Becki? Because ours didn't come in until 2 weeks later.
Well, we had to get in touch with the PhotoPass people.
Go back in My Disney Experience and double check that they're not there.
But we could also give you we'll give you the info, and you can email them, and they will find your stuff based off of your email and send it to you.
Oh, I'll have to do that because I was really bummed. I was like, what the heck? Especially Guardians of the Galaxy, because I was by myself and be curious if I was eating my hair or...
I know. I wonder if they're not doing that though now, unless you have Memory Maker. But we did have.
Well, if you buy Genie Plus or Lightning Lane, they're included actually.
Oh, okay. Well, then you should get them.
I bought the Memory Maker separately.
Right, we did too. Yeah, so you should have them. And if you don't, get in touch with. We'll send you the info. Get in touch with them, and they'll find it and upload it. Let me share this. Cool. This is a pretty cool photo op of Tron beforehand, which I like. They have the disc, which they incorporate into your photo. So, and I was like, do this with your hands. And Kim's like, what? I'm like, this. I was like, just do it.
I never saw Tron. So the lamest thing about Tron is that when you're getting close in the queue, they're like, there's this lady on a screen, and the only thing that she talks about is Tron, and then she goes like this, and she has these weird blue eyes, and she goes.
Kim was so mad about it. Yeah.
On the Tron, there are winners and there are losers. Which one are you? And then her eyes turn blue, and then they twinkle, and then
like a computer
replays over and over again. I'm like, that's the best you could do. I'm sorry.
Kim was really mad at her, and I'm sorry to the actress who plays that woman in the video, but. She calls you a lot of names. Here's us at Grand Floridian with Panda. And this is a really cool photo pass because they put Chip in Colton's hand with photo pass. We had dinner at Grand Floridian Cafe. I want to say I'm sorry to the Grand Floridian Resort because I always say it's so stuffy, and I don't belong there. But man, it is beautiful. And the food was awesome at the Grand Floridian Cafe, really good. So
okay, it's beautiful, but I feel like as soon as I walk in the front door, I'm like, I cannot have fun.
Okay, you feel the same way as I do, Mike. But you know what? I think it might just be in our heads because although people are staying there and you could tell they're a little foofy, the restaurants are very nice. Man, the restaurant, the people that worked in the restaurant were really down to earth. It wasn't like I thought it was going to be. But we had the best shrimp cocktail I have ever had in my life. They didn't just give you shrimp in a bowl with some cocktail sauce. I mean,
and I had fried chicken that was so good. It was, but it wasn't.
Waitress was sweet, right? The chicken Kim had was delicious. I mean, everybody enjoyed their meal. John just got a soup because he said it fills him up.
Then we passed by, David, what was the name of that little bar?
The Enchanted Rose.
You guys, Jay, when you live there, we have to go have a drink at the Enchanted Rose. You've heard of it, right?
Oh yeah.
And I never walked past it, and I was like, "What's in there?" And it was so pretty, and it was just beautiful. Yeah. And I'm like, that is so like a very nice thing to do. I would say would definitely be to stop in.
Now, how does it fit with the Grand Floridian? Because it looks really modern.
It's just up there. It's quiet.
It fits in my opinion. I'm looking for a photo.
No, it's modern, Jay, but it's like pretty, really fun.
Yeah, very.
Well, it's feeding the beast.
If you have some pastel pants,
I do actually. I do.
Mike, we need pastel pants.
I do though, Mike. But there's some holes in the back and stuff. Like I haven't worn them in a while. They're a little outdated. This is us with Panda over at the Polynesian and Don and Marie before we split up. We went to dinner. They went to dinner, but we hung out in the lobby of the Poly, which was a lot of fun. Met a nice guy who was a fan of Panda, and we all were talking, and then we're on the monorail with him. And but this was a lot of fun to just chill out. John and I had some coffee and hung out and had a conversation. It's fun to just sit at your resort in like a spot and just kind of take it all in and hang out. Like, use the space.
Especially if it's Polynesian.
Right. Then after you guys had dinner, we tried to meet up in the Magic Kingdom, and it poured rain.
Oh God, that was the night of the storm and the wind. But I rode the People Mover with Panda. Kim and Colton went on Space Mountain. Don and Marie were leaving. It was pouring. It was like over 25 miles an hour winds, but it did calm down. We watched Happily Ever After, the three of us, and we had fun. Here's Colton and I with John at dinner. We had a lot of fun. So I wanted to just show some of these photos from that. We have much more to share, but we're running out of time. But go ahead.
If you're with Panda and you're not having fun, it's your fault.
Right.
This is a true statement. You're right. And I'd have to. Kim didn't have fun, and I said it was your fault, Kim. And John was like, "You're right, David. You're right." So,
that is not a little bit true.
That's exactly how it went down. That's all we have for today.
They texted me at the same time, and we're like, "We can't."
Kim got a sweater. Kim got a Spirit jersey out of it.
Yeah, I got a sweater. I got a sweater.
Kim got a sweatshirt every night of the trip because she was like, "Oh, I forgot my sweatshirt and I'm chilly tonight." It was like 5 nights in a row. How many sweatshirts can you get out of this? And I forgot my glasses.
It was 2 sweatshirts.
No,
2 sweatshirts.
You can't wear the same sweatshirt every night. You've got to have a different one.
Yes, you can. I wore the same one every night.
I'm gonna go live with Jay.
Go ahead. I'm buying you a ticket right now. I'm actually on the other computer right now, getting you a one-way ticket.
Cook for him and Chris. Yeah. We're gonna be a happy Three's company over there. Right.
Well, here is Rowen and Colton in the pool. I just noticed there's a chick with like a bikini. A thong or something in the background. I'm sorry about that. There is Colton and Rowen in the pool at the Oasis. They had fun together. I mean, for 2 kids that don't know each other to meet each other for the first time and hang out.
Both
they actually
socially awkward. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was
They were
cool.
there. I want to.
No, they did.
Again, like not in Disney too. Like it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys are an hour and a half away from us, whatever it is. So here's the four of us at the Oasis pool. Some guy's hanging his laundry in the back. But we had fun. We sat around, we chatted. Don and Marie were there earlier, but we had a good time. I had to leave a little bit, take a work call, but yeah,
it was a
lot of fun. I mean, yeah.
The attendant come by. When we were all there, the attendant come by, introduced herself,
that's right,
and then was like, "Oh, I remember you."
Mm-hmm.
We're talking.
She remembered me from last year because the day that we rented a cabana last year, there was the stranger that decided him and his son were going to basically share our cabana with us and play cards underneath the cabana. And she's like, "I remember you." I had to tell that guy to leave. I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." Yeah,
she hulked out. It was beautiful.
She did call me out. I'm sorry.
No, she hulked out. Hulk.
Oh, she did. Yeah, it's the little things that bother me. It's the little things like the guy. Okay, first morning at the pool, we arrived the night before. Quick story: we get to the pool. Well, we went to breakfast. We're coming back. We dropped stuff off at some chairs at the pool. Went up to the room, got Colton's goggles, came back. This guy and his family were they're in our chairs, and Colton and I got to the pool before Kim. She was still in the room. And I'm like, "Hey, you guys, we had these chairs reserved." And he's like, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, we put some stuff down." He goes, this is how you reserve your chairs?"
No, dude, I saw there was a plaque with your name on it.
Right. And I'm like, "Listen, Captain A-hole." I'm like, "Everybody does it around here. This is how they reserve the chairs." I said, "We just went up to the room," and Colton laughed. He's like, "Hey, you called him Captain A-hole." I'm like, he is. Him and his family are
You didn't tell me that because I was down there.
I called him Captain A-hole straight to his face. And then I was like, "You know what? The one daughter was nice. She's like, well, you could have this chair." And I said, "I don't want to sit next to you and Captain A-hole and the rest of the A-hole family. We're going to move." We moved our stuff. And Colton and I were in the pool, and the whole time we just stared at him, called him Captain A-hole. So yeah, that's how that went down. That was only argument number one of the trip. There was a couple of them, but don't do that. People I'm sorry, that is the game, isn't it? I don't know your opinions are, but
if you're there,
it is in every other corner of the world that I'm aware of.
Right, you put your stuff on the chair.
And it was only 5 minutes that we were gone.
No, it wasn't long. Trust me. Yeah,
I don't think it's nice or fair when people put their stuff down and then they go to a park and you see it and you're there.
No.
No one's been there. Or if you don't put your towel back, put your dirty towel in the dirty towel rack so that the chair is free. But we literally we put down goggles, we put down a couple of things, and
basically,
if it's not your for half an hour, you can throw it away. That's the rule.
Well, if it's not your stuff, you don't touch it.
I know.
Right, exactly.
I was pissed when I got there because
Kim came down and she put some stuff in the chairs like singles and stuff because she wanted to tip me later. Yeah,
and then leave. She had older kids; they weren't in the pool, and the reason why I like that spot.
No, they were leaving, which is why they were angry. By the way,
in the pool.
Yeah. So they were leaving because that was their checkout day. I could tell because I never saw them the rest of the week at the resort. When someone's mad, they have to leave. And now I know why they did that. But he was like, "Oh, this is how you reserve chairs." And I'm like, "Dude, you know how people reserve chairs around here. You know it. I'm going to reserve the chair with your teeth. That's what I'm going to do right now."
I saw them there. I've seen
you've seen them before.
So I know they're DVC members, so they know that too.
We'll see them next year.
I just don't care.
We're going to have a DVC Rumble, actually, next year. We're going to fight it out. I'm going to let Colton...
I'm in. I'm in the muscle.
Yeah, we're going to let Colton take on the whole family. So... But that was that. Other than that, this is our trip report. There's so much more we can dive into, but...
we didn't even talk about watching the fireworks from the lava pool.
We haven't talked about the best steak that we had during the trip, how many steaks Colton ate. We did not talk about the fact that we didn't use Genie Plus or Lightning Lane once during our trip.
Steakhouse 71?
Steakhouse 71, the amazing food there we could talk about. So we could talk about how Brown Derby is a negative now forever in my mind. And I wrote to Disney World and got a response back about the bad experience that we had there. Oh, it was awful. Awful.
We're talking after the show.
Yeah, we will.
We'll do a steak report another week because
we didn't have steak there. It was just bad service. Let's talk.
I did have steak there, but I've always loved the Brown Derby.
Your steak was like brown. Brown Derby was brown for a different reason that night.
It was
had nothing to do with the name of the restaurant. It had to do with the service that we received that night. I'm very angry.
Yeah,
we'll talk after.
Happily ever after. Seeing that quite a few times. We still have so much. We think we need a third.
We do. We could do it next week. Whoever wants to come back, we're here. This is what we do every Saturday, guys. I mean, seriously.
We could do it.
Kim, I think we should have a one about like just to help other people who haven't dealt with DAS or anything. All of us have dealt with it.
Becki, yes. So, we did that a few years ago. We had a mom's special needs, but it doesn't just have to be moms, but we did do a DAS and special needs show. And absolutely, in a couple of weeks we will plan that.
Why don't we do that and talk about how to utilize it and utilize it to your advantage and what it is and all the steps, Becki. That's a great idea, and like the pre-registration and all that, and how So I think that is something we could do an entire show on. Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. So we have so much more. Maybe next weekend we'll just talk about more of the trip. We'll do a best steak on property. We can also review, because last week we had a good question, right? We talked about best fried chicken, whether it was Hoop-Dee-Doo or whether it was Homecoming. And we got a lot of good results in our Now That's Disney Facebook group. So we could talk about that next week. And so I think we could stretch this out into a part 3-er. I'm pretty positive. So why don't we do that next week? We'll say goodnight to everybody now. We'll leave you with our outro. I mean, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say we do have a special show coming up on the 13th. The return of Alan.
We do. We have we call it the Alan vehicle. Alan will be going to Disneyland in California, and we will have a whole episode dedicated to Alan and everything that is Alan, and he deserves it. Again, Alan is still part of the show. Alan is just.
I have that really off. I'm calling in because I need to see my Alan.
Yeah, we do miss Alan. I need to see some Alan. I would love to see him across the screen for me, but Alan's been really busy at conferences and school and work and writing papers and stuff. So, we will have the return of Alan on May 13th. So, why don't we say goodbye to all of our viewers tonight? And we love you guys. And
Skipper Jay will talk next week. I know, poor Skipper Jay.
Sorry, Jay. I know. Jay, let's talk after the show, though. We'll talk about the Brown Derby.
No, I was just going to say, if you want to be petty, my takeaway from tonight was if someone leaves their bags to block you at Disney, walk up to a security officer and go, walk up to a security officer and go, someone left a suspicious bag here. Someone left this suspicious bag here.
I think it's full of hot dogs and seafood.
I don't know what's in here, but they dropped it like
that would do
it.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Let me find my outro. Here we go. All right, so here. Yeah, go ahead, Jay. You got it?
Hurry back, hurry back. We've been dying to have you.